What's up YouTube, Tenchi Arizonia, the angry Dracolope of the Jackalope crew here, and for today's video I have my first impressions and testing of this, the Firebox Stove's Firebox Scout. So let's get it out of the pouch and give you my first impressions of it. And I will say I don't just have the Firebox Scout because I bought some extras to go with it. So let's just put this down here and get the pouch out of the way. The pouch is nicely made, I will say that much. Right, so here we have the Firebox Scout, and the first addition I have is this, and this is the multi-fuel plate, ideal for gel blocks or other solid fuel blocks, and very handy I think, because this is a multi-fuel stove. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom off and place it in like so, and then take this off. And I've actually got this the wrong way around, so I will turn it around, and there you can see where you can put in wood. I also have a spirit burner. Now you can use a Trangia. I decided to buy the TBS spirit burner though from the Bushcraft store here in the UK. In addition to that, I have the accelerator bars, which I will show in a minute, and the two pins that allow you to use the Trangia stove, or in my case the Bushcraft store stove, and the multi-fuel plate. Like I said, I also have the accelerator bars, which act as a pot stand, and these are used when you are burning wood in the stove. And they just twist on like so. Now, they're called accelerator bars for a reason, because they allow the stove, as I understand it anyway, to burn more efficiently when you are using wood. So, what are my first impressions on everything as a whole? Well, firstly, I'm going to start with this, the multi-fuel plate. I think this is a brilliant idea, especially if you want to use solid fuel or gel blocks. Very good piece of kit to have. Next up, the accelerator bars, which again I bought as an extra. They are a really good idea, quite simple, and they just separate and store flat in the base of the stove. Very good for when you're using wood burners, or if you've got pots that are smaller than the top of this stove, which some camping pots will be too small to use on this. And then finally, although it's not part of the Firebox system, is the TBS spirit burner. This is better quality in my opinion than a Trangia, and it comes with both the simmer cap, which you can just pull off like so, as well as an O-ring sealed cap for transporting it with fuel in it. So again, this on its own, worth its weight in gold, and is honestly a good bit of kit. Simmer lid opens up fully, or can be closed, and you can also use it when it's closed to put out the stove, or the burner in this case. Now onto the Firebox Scout itself. I actually think the build quality on this is pretty good, and honestly I think if you were using either the spirit burner or using wood without the accelerator bars, you could actually use one of the lids as kind of a hot plate to keep things warm, or basically use it as a small pan. I would not do that because there are small gaps down the side, so I would just say use this as a small hot plate for, say, a mug or something. Keep your mug of coffee warm when you're out and about and have your stove burning. Anyway, first impressions on this piece of kit itself. The build quality is really good compared to other stoves of lower price or even similar price. The metal is considerably thicker, and I think it will last a lifetime if used correctly. And like I said, everything can store in it. I'll just put it back in its base now and show you everything being stored. Now I will say, when you're packing this up, put the pins in first, because they can get caught in the vent holes, and if that happens it makes it hard to get the stove out. So in go the pins first, followed by the accelerator bars going towards the opposite corner. We then put in the TBS spirit burner and then put the lid on. Now there is space in here to put fuels, so you could put some sticks in here, you could put some kindling like some waxed cotton balls in here, but then we put the lid back on and we get the fuel plate, and that goes on top of the lid, the multi-fuel plate. Then all of that, including some fuel if you have any, will fit back in this pouch. Now bear with me because I haven't used this stove yet, so I haven't had a chance to get it out and play with it. Anyway, there we go, it's all back in the pouch. The drawstrings are good, the pouch itself is pretty nice. And there we have the Firebox Scout. First impressions, I highly recommend it. But we will see later on if my first impressions are correct, because later on today I'll be doing some testing. So that's all for now, but I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Well, let's start off this test getting this fired up. I don't have my fire kit, so I'm just having to make do with some cheap store-bought firewood and some kitchen towel. It's a bit breezy, so I'm not going to try using matches, even though I do have some. I'm just going to go straight for a barbecue lighter and hope we have some success. Now I'll get this fired up and then I'll bring you in closer because I'm going to make a cup of tea on it. Don't know how well it's going to fire up because, like I said, I don't exactly have ideal fuel. So if I get it fired up, we'll be doing well. And it looks like we've managed. I'll get some thinner sticks in here. And we'll see what we can do. Now I have got the accelerator bars on, and I've got a cheap cook kit here off of Amazon. So let me just get this ready and I'll bring the camera closer. Put this on here and get some water in. That ought to do. And we've got my cup ready for a cup of tea here, but I'm going to cut this now and I'm going to bring you closer. So, be with you in a moment. So, as you can see, the stove is burning pretty well. And I can't exactly get the angle I wanted for you because, well, my gimbal doesn't manoeuvre enough, but I will try to bring you over the pot at least briefly, and then we will see how well it's boiling. There you go. It's obviously not boiling just yet. I'm probably going to have to add some more sticks in a minute. I didn't have many to start with, so I hope I've got enough here, because I'm honestly not too sure. But like I said, we'll just have to see. But yeah, first impressions, this is actually a pretty good stove. I may need to go and get some more wood in a minute, so I will cut this footage again and then get back with you as soon as I can. I might not need to actually, because it looks like, if you can see the steam rising, that the water is in fact starting to boil. Please bear with me with the awkward footage here. I actually might need to go get some more wood. So yes, I will cut this footage and I will be right back. Bear with me, folks. So it turns out, folks, that I actually didn't need more wood. It's actually burning quite well, and I don't know if you can see on the footage, but there is steam rising from the pot and the water is approaching a boil. Even though the wood has burnt down pretty quick, safe to say, it has almost done its job, and I'm pretty sure that I can finish off making my cup of tea with just the embers that are left in this stove. So let me just do that. The water is definitely hot enough, I can guarantee you that, folks. So I'll be right back when I'm in position to make my cup of tea, and we will get right back to it. Okay, so I kind of got lucky here because I brought out just enough fuel in the form of wood to boil my water for a cup of tea. So let's get my cup. I have some sugar here because I have sweet tea, and I have my tea bag right here. I also have some milk off to the side as well. So let's pour this in. You can see the steam coming off the water here. I actually prepared a little too much, so we'll get rid of the rest there. We'll let that brew for a bit. And well, I have to say, this stove is done well. The accelerator bars actually do their job. It took about 3 minutes to boil enough water for me to make a cup of tea. So not bad. Not bad at all. Now, we'll be doing another test with this later with the TBS spirit burner, because I actually do have some alcohol to use in that. Anyway, let's go into one of my pockets now and get my trusty Swiss Army knife, because I didn't bring a teaspoon out with me. And that has been stewing for about 3 minutes, give or take. I'll put my sugar in, and I use Demerara sugar, and we'll grab me milk. I'll just put that there for the time being. Splash of milk, and we have a cup of tea. course still needs to be stirred. So there we go. And here we have a nice cup of tea in an enamel mug. And I have to say, came out perfect. Perfect indeed. So, I'll let this cool down for a bit, and the final piece of footage will be done later on this evening or this afternoon using the TBS spirit burner. So far though, definitely living up to expectations. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so it's about an hour and a half since the last part, so I'm gonna cook myself up some soup, but I'm going to use the TBS spirit burner. So I need to take my other parts out, put them over here. The pins I will need, and they're going to have to go through the inner rank of holes. I'm going to put them right on the topmost hole, like so. I've done that right. Oh, my mistake, it wasn't the inner ones, it was actually the outer ones. My bad. So, same exact holes, but right, there we go. That's our spirit burner in. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out the base, flip the base over, and then I've got to get my spirit burner in position, get the lid off. I don't know if I've filled this up too much or not. I've never used one of these, so yeah, this is going to be the first. Again, I'm going to need this one, this pot, and I have cleaned it out since I used it. I will get my lighter again and get this lit up. I hope, at least, because like I said, I've never used a spirit burner. I have absolutely zero idea how they work, so bear with me. No, that's not lit, so I'll be right back. Okay, so after some technical difficulties, I managed to get my spirit burner going. Hopefully it's burning as it's supposed to. I don't know, because I've never used one before. Anyway, as we've managed to get it going, let's get some soup going. Just some cheap tomato soup. Try not to spill it on myself. Unsuccessfully. Not bad. Let's get that on the stove and get it cooking. Now, the wood burning function with the accelerator bars is great, and well, I can't speak to the multi-fuel plate yet because I haven't used it, and as you can see, I've got some tomato soup on my pant legs. Oh well, if it's going to happen, at least it happened while I was outside. And that is why, guys, I actually prefer to have cans that require a can opener as opposed to ring pull cans. I absolutely hate cans that have ring pull tabs. Anyway, soup's cooking nicely. Let's see how the burner's doing. Burner's doing now. Nice. And as you can see, this pot does actually fit on this stove without the accelerator bar. Its companion pot, however, this one, is a bit unstable, which is why I haven't used this one today. Anyway, hopefully this goes well. As I said, I've never used a spirit burner before, but it seems to be burning more efficiently than the wood does. So honestly guys, I can recommend spirit burners such as the Trangia or this. Now I know I'm fiddling with it a bit, it's because I want to see how it's doing. But yeah, so I'm impressed actually, I'll be honest. I am rather impressed with both the spirit burner, the use of the accelerator bars, and the stove itself. It is honestly a good piece of kit. Unfortunately, the smoke's going off that way a bit. But yeah, this is now it's burning properly. There we go. As you can see, it is still a bit fiddly with this particular pot. Anyway, I'm going to cut the footage for you now, and I'll come back when my soup is nearer to done. See you shortly. Well guys, it's been about 5 minutes since the last update, and my soup is very nearly done, and yes, I had to go inside to get a spoon. And I would say, actually, soup's done. Soup's definitely done. So, I'm going to pull my pot off the stove. And wow, does that have a big flame on it. In fact, I don't even know if I can actually get close enough to put the simmer cap on. Yeah, I could! Look at that! First try. Anyway, I'm going to leave that now and have my soup, and I'll get back to you afterwards. But have to say guys, whether it's using wood with the accelerator bars or without, or using the spirit burner, the Firebox Scout is a worthwhile piece of kit to have. Now I'm going to have my lunch, which is a tin of tomato soup, and I'll get back to you right afterwards. Well guys, I'm just finishing up my lunch of tomato soup, and I'll give you my final thoughts on the Firebox Scout. Now, I have to be honest with you here. I got this due to a video I saw by JB Outdoors and More, and another video that I'd seen by Woolly's World, and I was never really convinced of the quality of Firebox stoves, I'll be honest. I thought the cheaper versions that you can buy out there, you know, the Lixada cap stoves and all the cheap Chinese camp stoves that you can find on Amazon, were better. And guys, I have to tell the truth here, I was wrong. Anyway, with lunch finished, time to give you my final thoughts. Is the Firebox Scout worth the price? Well, I have to say guys, and I'm surprised I'm saying this, but yes, this is worth the price. And for those of you who don't like products that are made in China, this will be perfect for you because it is made in the United States of America. Again, it is worth the price, and I'm getting soot on my hands here from handling this, but who gives a fuck? Anyway, this is worth the price. I highly recommend it. And to JB Outdoors and More, and to Woolly's World. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I know I went to the right there. The heart's actually on the left, guys. It's actually in the middle of your chest, but it faces left. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for bringing Firebox to my attention. And to the guys that make the Firebox stoves, keep up the good work. This is an amazing product. The quality is there. Cheaper stoves I had in the past have warped with a single use. This has not warped in the slightest. Yes, it has discoloured. That's going to be the same with any stainless steel camp stove, or even titanium camp stoves. And I'll be honest, guys, now that I've had this, I really want to try out their titanium folding firebox. But that's going to have to wait a while because it is a rather expensive product. Anyway, like I said, I highly recommend the Firebox Scout. And as usual, that's all for now. If you like it, please subscribe, comment and share. And remember, be good to each other.